Well, today we're going to do some meal planning. So when your potatoes are starting to get like, they need to be done, and I'm going to make a bunch of mashed potatoes, and I'm going to do make some meals, and I have some frozen chicken that I have in the fridge, so we will use the frozen chicken to cook the chicken after. So we're going to start with potatoes though. We're going to make a bunch of mashed potatoes, so we're just going to peel all of the potatoes, so you never have to throw any out. You just mash your potatoes and make a bunch of frozen meals for your family. So that's what I'm doing today. And we're going to put them all I'm just going to put them all on the table until I got them peeled. Just going to peel them all, and then we're going to boil them and make mashed potatoes out of this. And I'm also going to cook the chicken, and then we'll show you, we'll do vegetables, and we'll make some freezer meals. And then I'm also going to cook some beans after this. We're going to do some beans. We're going to do a bunch of meal planning today. We're going to do some beans, and then we're going to make burritos and also some enclosed tacos, which is pockets. And we can freeze those too, and you can just take them as you go. Even if you're camping, you take some of those and put them on the fire, heat them up in some tin foil, and away you go. And also, if you're just at home and you just want to not be cooking every day, you make like a week's worth of food, and you got food for the week. Especially if you're like a person like me that has to live on a budget, you could do that. Plan your meals and get what you need at the end of the month. Budget your needs, and then whatever you want to cook that month and whatever you want to make that month for meals, you think about that and you write it down and plan your meals, and then that's out of the way and you don't have to cook. You can just enjoy life without having to cook every day. So let's get these peeled. And yeah, just give people ideas of what to cook. I've been one of those moods where I don't really know what to eat and nothing's ready, so I'm not feeling like cooking, but you get hungry, right? So when you're having those days and you have something to eat, when you have all these things already prepared. Meal prepping is a good thing. It's good to do that. Meal prepping, meal planning. I'd rather do the meal prepping because get it ready. And this way you don't waste any potatoes either. You just use them up, and meals can be frozen for up to a few months, But you would never make that many meals. You'd probably make enough meals for like a couple weeks or a week, depending on your family size. So I'm working through the worst ones first, and then I'm going to get to the best ones after. Boil these babies. I like my mashed potatoes very whippy, so I whip them. I whip my mashed potatoes. Put half and half cream and butter into it. Sometimes I use sour cream in my potatoes too. It tastes good. You could probably grow some of these, but I don't have a garden, so. My mom, she wanted red potatoes. These ones are white potatoes. I think they're Yukon Gold. And then I have some gold ones. Alright, I'm going to pause the video now so we don't have too much video here. It's already been 4 minutes of peeling potatoes. So I'm just going to fast forward this, and I'll be back when this is peeled. Alright, all done. I need my pile of potatoes here. More potatoes. All of the peel in the garbage. them all in there and rinse them. All in there. I'm going to cut them all in pieces. These will cook up very fast. Quite a bit. Still saved. Rinse them nicely. Them babies. A little more. Make sure they're covered. Turn it on high. Turn it on high. And potatoes on. Add some salt. Now let that boil. Ooh, I can't see. I'll let that boil and then I'll be back. Potatoes are boiled. Let's get the chicken started. We're gonna get the chicken ready now, and I'm gonna put the chicken in this beautiful pan. And this pan we can also put in the oven because it has a steel handle. So let me grab the chicken and also grab the vegetables I'm gonna be using. Use up some carrots, and we're gonna put some broccoli in there too. Some peppers in there. Got some different peppers here. So we're gonna get the chicken out now. This is some frozen chicken breast here. So we got 4 pieces left. 4 pieces of chicken. I'm going to get my spices out. Spices, you can use whatever you want, but I have my spices. I have a lot of spices in this container. I have a lot of spices mixed up, including seasoning salt. I have a bunch of different spices. That is alright, so I'm gonna put a little bit of seasoning on here. On the chicken. Actually, we're going to do the other side first. And don't worry about too much seasoning because you're going to be putting the vegetables into, so you're going to be seasoning it again. Start with that. And then we're gonna rinse off some of these tomatoes that are still good. I'm gonna pick some good ones out that are still okay. These baby tomatoes. And I'm just gonna put this in the oven at 500. So I'm just gonna wash these. So spread them in there. We're gonna put some carrots as well. Actually, we're gonna use all of the carrots. Baby carrots, maybe. Oh, if it didn't touch the chicken or anything. Here. I'm just gonna take some broccoli. Wash it off. And the back pieces off of here. Oops. Drop these. Not bad. I know this is going to be good. The other day when I made something like this was good. And today I'm using mashed potatoes. I haven't even turned the oven on yet. This won't be taking that long. Chicken doesn't take that long. Anyway, I'm just gonna put a little bit of pepper. We're just gonna put a quarter of a pepper, each pepper. Rinse. I'm just gonna do it again like I did the other day. Cut it in half and then slice it this way. And it makes beautiful color. I like a lot of vegetables with my meat. I like meat, but not too much meat. Take a little bit of the orange one. So this can be 4 meals here, what I'm making here. For this chicken is one piece of chicken for each meal. Getting ready for camping too. Like when I go camping and I'll have my food ready. Just worry about having fun instead of. Well, sometimes cooking is fun, but sometimes there's other things you want to do. When you're camping. So many things to do when you're camping. So we're going to also put an onion here. I am going to put an onion here. I know there's some people that don't like onions, but I'm going to have a bite of this or something. I'm going to cut the onion up here. And by the time this is done, the onions are going to be pretty fine. It's just going to be the flavor of them. Onions make a beautiful flavor then. Sound of that. So now we're gonna put some liquid on it. We're also gonna put a little more salt, more seasoning all over everything. You could do this also in tin foil on a fire. You could make this on a fire on tin foil. Look how beautiful that already looks. Doesn't it look already beautiful right there? For all my food-loving friends, this is for you guys. I'm doing this for you guys. And now we're going to add a little bit of water. You don't need a lot of water for this. You just need a little bit. I don't want to disturb the spices too much, so I'm going to pour it in the ends, a little bit in the middle. This pan is stick free or whatever, so we don't need to put a lot of water. So now we're gonna put soy sauce. So I'm gonna use soy sauce. Squeak, squeak, squeak. Lovely. All right. Now, and I think that's all we're gonna need. We're gonna turn the oven on. I always have cans in there. Oven on at 500. We're gonna do it at 500 to start off with. On, and I'm just going to let's get this pan in there. And you put a lid on it too. Put the lid on it and put it in the oven. Let's put this baby in the oven. And I threw in the oven to 500, so we're gonna get the lid now. This is the lid for it, so we're gonna put the lid on it. Now the potatoes are already boiling too. They're just coming to a boil now. I had the lid on it, so we're just gonna put a different lid on it. And now I'll be back when I'm ready to do the beans next. So now I'm gonna clean up a little bit and we'll be back with sorting the beans. I'll be back. They're all done. They're ready to be mashed. So I'm just gonna leave them in here for a bit, like this in hot water until the chicken gets done. Let's check in the chicken. The oven isn't even hot yet, so the chicken's gonna take a while. And while we're waiting, we're gonna start. What we're gonna do. So set this up here. Try not to be in the camera because I am just wearing my comfy outfit today. So we got this whole bag of beans. I might cook 2 bags. So we gotta clean them all. We gotta take them all out of here. The way we clean them is just let them out like this. And then you take out, you just kind of flatten them and you can see them. And you can just kind of like go like this. Take out any bad ones that you see, any like really bad ones that look really gross and stuff, or ones that you feel like are not going to cook, like this one here. This one. It's really crumbly. Alright, so you're just going to do this, and we're going to fast forward this video. just kind of go through the rest. I did finish now, but just want to make sure I didn't miss any really bad ones. And make sure there sometimes could be like little stones in it. You know, watch for that too. You wouldn't want to bite down on something else. And then you wash them really good. And then I always put them in like a hot water from the sink. I put them in hot water, and then it softens them up a little bit as they're. And then when I start cooking them, I already start cooking them in hot water. That was a big bag. It was a 2-pound bag. Okay, so that is already 2 pounds. So we're just going to use 1 bag. So I'm going to rinse them now. I rinsed them good. And now they've already starting to get softer even. So now we're going to put them in a big pot and just pause it for a minute. Alright, I'm going to use this pot here. It's one of those non-stick ones. Hopefully they all fit in there. Yeah, that's perfect. So this pot, it's half full now. By the time it's done cooking, it'll be full. That's how much they can get. You want to make sure you have enough water, so you put almost to the top of water. And then. So I got my clean baking soda over here. The good one. The one that's I use for baking. We're going to use that. I'm going to put a little bit of salt as well. And so we're going to put a little bit of baking soda. And this will make the skin softer in the beans. So you just take, this is my clean baking soda. So I'm just going to take a teaspoon and put a teaspoon of it in there. And this is about 2 pounds. So I'll put a teaspoon in there. And as soon as I put the spice, and you can put this seasoning, you can put any kind of seasoning. This one has seasoning salt in it. So I'm just going to put a little bit of this one too. This is the one that has everything in it. And then I'm going to put some other seasonings in there too. I'm going to put a little bit of salt. You can always add more later to taste, but right now I'm just going to put 2 teaspoons of salt in it, because we're going to put a lot of water in there yet, so it's going to evaporate. So I'm going to put a little bit more seasoning salt in there, seasoning in there, and I'm almost out, so I have to get more because I mixed it with that. So. And then I just kind of go by how much I feel. So you can put whatever you want in there. I'm going to add a little bit of cumin. I'm just going to add a little bit of cumin as well. You can add whatever you want. Pepper. I'm just going to add a little bit of pepper too. Just regular pepper. And then you can add, I'm going to add some beef, bouillon cube. We're going to add some of that. Make it nice and beefy flavor. I don't know if this is not veg, so if you're a vegetarian, you don't have to put that. You can put whatever spices you want. And if you want it to be a little bit more oily and greasy, you can always just add some olive oil or something like that. So I'm gonna put 3. I'm gonna put 2 at least. 2 cubes in here for now, and then maybe I'll put another one in there after. So we're just putting 2 in there for now. And then we're gonna start cooking it. I'm gonna take the potatoes off the stove, and now we're now gonna do the potatoes. I'm gonna get rid of these beans. Put the potatoes over here. We're gonna put this on the stove now. Put that on the stove. I just turned it on high. And you want to keep an eye on it. Give it a little stir right now. Give it a little stir. And you can also add a little bit of soy sauce. So just add some little soy sauce. And let's check this chicken. Oh! That was hot. It's like a heat wave come out. Let's see. Ooh, that's too close to the fire. Look at this. It's starting to cook really nicely. So we'll check that in a minute. Alright, so now this is going to be cooking here. I'm going to put a lid on it just so it can come to a boil, and then I'm going to turn it down to about 6. All that hot water out of there. Lots of potatoes here. Oops, I just spilled water on the table. When you're doing this, always pour away from you. I'm going to be using margarine. I'm going to use margarine here because I don't have any butter, but I prefer butter. I do prefer butter. Oh, they don't got it. I lost my, okay, we'll use that. I don't like this musher. I don't like this one. I lost my good one. We're just gonna use the, everybody should know how to make mashed potatoes. I like to make mine very mushy. So I'm just going to use the rest of this margarine here, quite a bit. But I don't have very much cream today. I have to use milk, so I'm just going to use a lot of butter first. Margarine, whatever. I like to make mine very, what do you call it? Very smooth. Just going to put a little bit of salt, pepper. Normally I would use cream, half and half cream, but today we're going to use milk, 2%. And I just put it so I can almost see it in the bottom. And then I start doing this. But I have a different one that I like. All the way around. First get the big chunks, and once you get the big chunks and you really give it a bang, I'm going to have to I'm going to have to take the volume out of it when I do that, so I'll do that. Make sure you have a good table to do it on, or a counter. Or if you're at the campgrounds, then you have the ground. You have to add some more. Give it a good beating. Yeah, if you're stressed, it's a good way to keep out your stress. Yeah, make sure the milk is mixed in there before you start slapping it, because it splashes in. Let's go. Let's get banging here. Kind of take it out. frustrations out on yourself. I think it's almost ready. Might be a little chunky because this one here might take chunks. Okay, and then stack it up. Let's use this. Oh, mashed potatoes and good. Yeah. My other masher would have mashed it even more, but this had a lot of different potatoes. So let's try a potato. Let's try some. This side. So good. Even the perfect amount of salt and everything. So good. There's mashed potatoes. Yeah, have this for supper tonight, and then I'm also gonna put 2 meals away. So it's gonna make 4 meals. 4. All right, hope you enjoyed this, and we'll be back when I make the plates when the chicken is done. All right, let's check the what do we call it? Beans. Let's see how they're now starting to boil up here. Turn it down to about 5 there. You want them to boil over. You want to give it a stir. And a good idea too is to put a wooden spoon like this. Wooden spoon will stop it from boiling over. So a wooden spoon stops it from boiling over. So I just turned it down to like 5 over here. Turn it down to 5, so. You can do this and then put the lid on top of that. Still keeping the steam in. You want to let it cook down a little bit or else it might boil over, so before you put the lid on it. So, yeah, that's what you'll do. And then you just keep adding water if you need to. So this is the beans. As they're starting to cook. And all that bubbling is there because of the baking soda that I put in. And it does make the skins all soft. Alright, I'll see you guys in a bit. Now the chicken is done and the mashed potatoes are done. And don't touch that again because I already burnt my hand because of the downfall about a pan like this that you can put in the oven is that you forget that it's hot, you know, and I burnt my hand already and my finger already pushing this, but look how nice it looks, eh? Look how nice. Nicely cooked. And now we're going to put it in plates and also in these 2 containers for later on. So, there's 4 meals, 1 for tonight and then 1 for, we got 2 plates and 2 of these. Meal planning. So if you know you're going to have leftover, you can make your plate first and then you can make the leftovers, but I'm just going to do it like this. But you might want to put your own plate first. And you always like lots of potatoes, right? There's lots, so you can put lots of potatoes. And I'm going to dish my sons out today just because I'm making a video. Normally I make him do it on his own. So here's his potatoes. And there's going to be extra potatoes anyway. My potatoes, I already had some potatoes, so I'm going to have less. I already ate some. I love potatoes though. So potatoes, so I'm going to have extra. But meat, there's only 4 pieces of meat. So, unless you're like me and don't want a whole piece of meat, but my dog usually likes the rest of it. Alright, so we're just going to dish some on here. I'm just going to start with his. More veggies on them. Nice veggies. No, you can't see the plate. Oh, I didn't turn it off. And you get the chicken in there. And then you get the veggies in there. Pour them right over top there. Right over top there. There's a meal right there. And here, more veggies for me. And when there's extra potatoes, you can always make hash browns with them. Put a little more veggies in this one. You'll eat that. There. Meal planning, and you can also use this sauce. Put a little bit of, that's hot still. You can use a little bit of sauce. Use this sauce, put a little bit over the chicken, just kind of dribble it over the chicken parts. Oops, I'm making a mess. I didn't put any browning sauce, but you could do that too, and then it would thicken right up. So there, and there's that. And then there's a little piece in the pan left. I'm gonna leave that for the doggy. So let's wipe off this table. And 2 meals that are for later. That's chicken and vegetables. And mashed potatoes. And here are meals. The 4 meals plus more. Oh, I thought this was going to be hot now. I'm nervous for it. So there's more mashed potatoes left. Here we go. So 4 meals out of this. Still mashed potatoes left over. This is going to get a bowl put in the fridge, in the freezer for another day. 2 meals ready. That's what I've been wanting to do for a while. Just do this stuff. There. Alright, let's check on the beans. Alright. I don't know, I think it's recording. Oh, it is recording, okay. So the beans are still got a ways to go, and as you can tell, that the water has really evaporated, and it can give this like browning stuff on the side too. You can just wash it off. It's nice flavoring. And for the meat lovers, you can always add bacon to this too. And I don't know why there's so many beans that are peeling. But they're not normally do that. But yeah, so you want to at this point you want to add a little more water to it. So let's add some more water. Let's add some more water. I was just waiting till the water got a little hot, so we're just going to fill it up again all the way to there. And if you want to, at this point, you can actually taste the broth and see what the broth tastes like to you. Yeah, right now the broth is it's got enough flavor in it, so we don't need to add anything else to it. It's actually a little spicy, so we're just going to let it cook again. And I did have the lid on it. We only have it on we have it on 5, so I'm just going to turn it up to like 7 and let it cook at 7. Alright, I'll be back when it's all done. We're done. They've been done for a minute now already. They've already cooled down. They're still warm, but they've cooled down, and I've added water a couple times to it, and this is how they get nice and thick like this. Just let them simmer. Once they get to a certain point, you just let them simmer. Make sure you keep an eye on the water. There's a little bit left. And if you're going to eat it with bread and stuff, homemade bread, and you want to maybe dip it, you might want to add a little more water. So this is good to do what I want to do, make burritos out of it. So what you do after is you can refry it in a pan and then mash it all up and then put it in the burritos. So I will be back when I do the next step. So this might be a two-part video from the other meal preparing. So I have that in the fridge here. Hold on, I'll show you the freezer. There's 2 meals here. There's chicken and potatoes. So 2 meals here ready, and then the rest I'm going to make burritos. And yeah, and then I've also been working on making little aprons. I've got 2 cut out, 2 little ones. So they're going to have a pocket here and a pocket there. And then this is the sides. And then this is the top tie here. And then it's got another little... I'm making some little aprons for baking for little girls and little boys. So this one, I don't know what pattern I'm going to do yet. I'm going to do it kind of square. Maybe I'll do like a corner here or something. I don't know yet. But these ones are a little bit square. And so I got 2 of them cut out. I got all those different fabrics I can use here. But yeah, just getting into some of the sewing.